Hey everybody, this is Way to Fail with another Scrolls matchup between two of my favorite Scrolladiers or Scrolls players or whatever you want to call them, DaOverlord and Nrp123. Two very high quality players, and I look forward to seeing this matchup here. And this was a replay provided by a replay mod that I'll have information for in the description of this video. Do feel free to download it, use it, it works, it uploads to scrollsguide.com. Very well made. I have to give credit to the people who've been supporting the mod here, because that does help tremendously, just being able to look at games both for new players to watch and kind of see what more experienced players are doing if you can't catch games live, and also easier just for people who may want to commentate or look at things such as this. But we are watching a game. This is from DaOverlord's perspective, so we are not going to be seeing Nrp's hand, unfortunately, but this is the round one mulligan, or keep the hand here. Not a terrible hand to start with. So we go with that, draws a summons just to get out a warding stone right here. But we do have Order versus Order today. Not necessarily the matchup you see all the time lately, but Order isn't dead, Order's just not in the dominating position that maybe it used to be once upon a time. So Nrp getting out the Winged Soldier early. And from the looks of at least Nrp's play, and maybe this hand too, it looks like both players are going to be pretty creature heavy trying to get things on the board. The warding stone is interesting there, just to put out so early, because it does deter attacking in the middle if the Overlord's going to tuck something behind it. But more importantly, if Nrp goes after it, that is a scroll for the Overlord, and it does slow things down. Not always my favorite kind of thing to drop at the very beginning without anything to protect behind it, but when there's not much else in your hand to play, you kind of have to go naked a little bit sometimes. So the Overlord getting Imperial resources, which he doesn't really want. So Ducal Skirmisher instead, and you'll notice that he put the cards down on the bottom just to really try and avoid getting wombo comboed by the Royal Skirmisher in case Nrp has a Blessing of Haste or anything like that. So there we go, the line of death, as it were. Wing Shield is going to be good defense against pretty much anything behind there, and you don't like seeing that combo, especially as Order, because you don't have too many ways to deal with it. At least the Overlord doesn't have in hand. You can pother or flip it, that's true, and I don't know if he's running that in his deck. I don't know really what either of these players' decks are. But still, it's not great to see that lineup and say, you have two creatures on the board and a wall at 1 health. And Nrp just says, fine, I'm going to go up to the top of the board and just race you. And right now, with the Royal Vanguard out, that is a race that the Overlord is not going to be facing. So he gets a speed. Speed's not what he wants right now, and that is a crappy, crappy card cycle. He ditches a speed to get a speed and Imperial resources. Pretty much a dead turn for the Overlord, which is not what he wants right now. So moves up towards here. Nrp's probably not going to play a redeploy or anything like that to move his entire units down. No, he pothers for card draw and to move the Vanguard. That's got to be irritating again. And look at this. Ball of Death. That's what you like to see from Orders, having these units bunched up together. But the Overlord drawing a Mangonel. And there was talk for a while of killing the speed Mangonel play, but he does have it in his hand, and there is the speed. There's the Mangonel. And there is a huge clear for the Overlord. Just exactly what he needed. Now he's up units on the board. He has better board presence. The Royal Vanguard's not going to be able to buff the crap out of Nrp's army. But you'll notice here I do have one mod installed here. It's a Enchant Effect mod, which is very helpful just to see. I hover over this and you can see the Vanguard buff on there. Yeah, it does give kind of a grayish look there, but maybe it's a little bit more visible than just the flashing, at least to someone like me. So Nrp getting out a crossbowman as well. And Aging Knights, so Nrp going with a very creature-heavy, aggressive two Aging Knights. I feel like Count Von Count in Sesame Street. 2 Knights, and you can see they have the debuff for themselves listed under there because that's what they do. They age. They are shock troopers. They go fast and then they go not so fast. So the Overlord just going for an idle down to 1 health. Nrp, what's he got? Is he going to go ahead and clear the Warding Stone out, at least draw a card at this point, and Wings Cleaver. Now that's a card that I don't see every day, but it is a card that I do like. Mainly because, look at this, Nrp's about to activate the Dominion effect. Dominion, for those of you who don't know, it's active if one of the idols is down, and an idol's about to be down here, which means this is going to be a 7/5 with 2 cooldown. Ridiculous. Ridiculously scary, frightening, and it has 2 large axes, so nothing wrong with that. Remember, that unit disappeared. The Wing Shield disappears because of the effect of the Warding Stone. And here we go. We have a Wings Cleaver who is ready to eat, ready to chomp down. Not sure why it's still at 3 cooldown. That should change, but there's another Wings Cleaver. So the Overlord right back. Cleaver on Cleaver action. So clever. And what has Nrp got in response? Because right now, the Overlord does have a Gallant Defender that he could drop And it's not a terrible place to be, especially since he does have fewer units, although it's not exactly what he'd like to do. But it could be a play for up here. Gallant Defender is one of those cards that you're from behind that you don't always want to be from behind. Nrp, on the other hand, just overloading the board with creatures. Which, notice that DaOverlord got the speed mangonel off, and Nrp just had the cards to just bounce right back. So DaOverlord holding on as tight as he can, as much as he can. Gets some good cards, gets a Blessing of Haste, so it looks like that he's going to be gunning for something here. Just right about now. Is it going to be Idols? Is it going to be trying to move up? Oh, he goes for the Pother play. He moves this unit up. And don't forget, when you Pother, you still have your movements. So DaOverlord doing a very, very nice, love this play, just to try and clear the board. And that's another interesting draw. You see Waking Stones kind of going in and out of favor because it can be Pothered, because it can be moved, because so many people, at least Energy, still tends to carry Tick Bomb of some sort. That it tends to die quite a bit, but he has a choice between Waking Stones and Warding Stone, just all kinds of stone because it's order apparently. And I assume he wants to drop something up there to protect his Skirmisher, and he elects to drop the Warding Stone. I guess probably to save the Waking Stones to try and protect his idol that's still really going to need protecting right about now. So DaOverlord with another Blessing of Haste, and notice once again, oh, whoa, Roasted Bean Potion. That's a card that's recently changed, and there we go. One idol down to 1 health and one idol down again. Roasted Bean Potion recently changed to decreasing countdown by 1 and increasing move by 1, and those are the increased move by 1 is a permanent effect. So this is now a very, very, very scary choppity chop. Whew. At least it's not, oh yes it is Relentless, so 9 Relentless, you gotta put a lot of health in front of it. But of course Relentless damage doesn't matter if you drop the Waking Stones now. And DaOverlord, does he have a solution right now? He does have an Honorable General, he does have Waking Stones, he does ditch the Warder here, and he drops the Honorable General. And speeds as well, so there we go. This is at least going to get rid of the Wings Cleaver, so that's a start. Not going to have to worry about that as much, and look at that. Look right there. There is idols that are so close to being down. This is almost like a growth game in a way with the way that both of these players are going back and forth, but double flip from Nrp, that's got to be like a kick in the nuts. DaOverlord's so close to taking it. But yeah, just for lack of a better word, kind of two aggressive Order players, and that's kind of what you see Order doing. Not so much the stalling towards the late game anymore, but at least both of these players playing very creature-heavy decks, not trying to slow things down, but Nrp making the better removal plays, or at least having the plays there, not just the flips, but getting other units to move. The moving of the Royal Vanguard down a spot was key too, I would say, early, because that limited the plays DaOverlord could make to try and stop Nrp controlling the top of the board. But overall, sometimes in mirror matches, it just ends up who gets the right cards at the right time, and both players were gunning for idols fast, so essentially what you have is a base race. And today, Nrp won that base race. So if you like what you saw, feel free to just say whatever you want about the match. I appreciate comments. I love getting feedback from you all. And if you have any replays or you want to download the replay mod and send some replays, just know you can always just send me a message, get my attention about stuff, or I'll be watching time to time on Scrolls Guide to see what gets uploaded. Feel free to upload your replays. And for those of you who are more experienced, please share your games, especially with new players that come in. Yes, there are still new players that come in to play Scrolls, and let them at least have a chance to see not just what cards you're using, but how you play, because you can give somebody any deck in the world, and if they don't know what to do, they just don't know what to do. Sometimes watching is learning. But hey, that's it for now. This is Way to Fail with Scrolls Order versus Order. Yes, it does happen from time to time. Hope you like what you saw. I will see you all next time.